During the third Sunday of Advent, we once again hear about John the Baptist. But this time the circumstances have changed. John's in prison and he sends his disciple to Jesus with a pretty important question. Are you the one we are looking for, or should we look for another? And in typical Jesus style, Jesus doesn't exactly answer the question. But instead he says to John the Baptist, tell John what you see. The blind regain their sight, the lame walk, the deaf hear, and the poor are made rich. Jesus points instead to his works, that Jesus has come to restore all of us back to our true identity. He's come to heal the sick, to raise up those who are fallen and downcast, to restore us as God's beloved sons and daughters. And just as Jesus points to what he does to remind John of his true identity, so Advent also reminds us to point to what Jesus does in our lives as well. For my friends, Advent reminds us that there is only one rock upon which we can build our lives, and that is Christ. For it is only Christ who raises us to the sons and daughters of God we are called to be. It is only Christ who gives us back our sight, enables us to hear the word of God, and raises us up when we have fallen. It is Christ who restores us, as he did 2,000 years ago, back to the whole, loving, faith-filled people God intends for all of us. During the season of Advent, sometimes it's easy to lose sight of that. Sometimes we focus so much on what's wrong in our lives with our faults and failings that we forget that Jesus has come to make us whole. But just as Jesus pointed to that important aspect of his mission for John and his disciples, so Jesus reminds us during the season of Advent that if we give our lives to him, if we place our hearts on him alone, and if we truly make ready his way, then he can restore us and make us into the sons and daughters that all of us are not only called to be, but want to be in the very depths of our hearts. Not preaching at you, but just giving you something to think about.